Hello friends, welcome to Knowledge Galaxy to rediscover the basics with Mayank Tiwari, a premier coaching and training channel dedicated to metallurgy studies and consultancy. Established to cater the needs of students, degree, diploma and AM/IIM metallurgy, competitive and recruitment exams for GATE, SAIL and various other government and private sector companies, metallurgical industries, working and aspiring professionals and whosoever seeking knowledge and information about various subjects and topics of metallurgy, ferroalloys, operational process optimization, productivity improvement analysis, etc. To impart practical industrial knowledge as per your specific requirements via tailor-made training sessions for your colleagues, employees and students, please contact me on knowledgegalaxy26@gmail.com or WhatsApp me on +919907144101 for scheduling and organizing the sessions at your place or via video conferencing. My dear friends, nowadays technology has improved so much that actual physical distance doesn't matter anymore. You can get all your doubts cleared by sitting at your home, at your comfort zone, just by contacting me over WhatsApp or phone, so that for your benefit, please do contact me for any of your doubts. My dear friends, I have made so many videos which are available on my YouTube channel. So I request you to visit my channel regularly and repeatedly and watch all the videos available there, so that you can gain maximum knowledge about the subject and topics, and also request you to watch all my videos from start to finish, so that you can gain the maximum and complete knowledge about the topic. My dear friends, as you know that training is costly, but not to train is still costlier. And when you are not having complete knowledge or don't get any information about the topic which you need to know, so you can contact me. If you don't find anyone who can help you to clear your doubts, you do contact me as soon as possible. And so right now in this video I am discussing about In this video, I am going to describe in detail about a very important topic which is used and applied worldwide irrespective of industry, organization or institute. And the topic of today's presentation video is productivity, some basic concepts. So basically you might have heard this term productivity many a times in your day-to-day life. So in this video I am going to describe in detail about what is productivity, how it is measured, what is its importance, and what are the different factors affecting productivity. So my dear friends, do concentrate in this video, and if you have any doubts, if you can't get anything clear in this presentation, you can contact me over my WhatsApp number which is displayed here, or through my email ID. So you can contact me for any of your doubts, for clearing and or for clearing your doubts, and for getting any other information if you want. So let's start the presentation for today. To start with, let us have the introduction of it. So, productivity is an overall measure of the ability to produce a goods or service. More specifically, productivity is the measure of how specified resources are managed to accomplish timely objectives as stated in terms of quantity and quality. I hope this definition of productivity is clear to you all. Productivity may also be defined as an index that measures output, goods and services relative to the input, that is labor, materials, energy, etc. used to produce the output. There are two major ways to increase productivity. First is increase the numerator, that is output, and second is decrease the denominator, that is input. Of course, a similar effect would be seen if both input and output increased, but output increased faster than input, or if input and output decreased, but input decreased faster than output. Organizations have many options for use of this formula: labor productivity, machine productivity, capital productivity, energy productivity, and so on. A productivity ratio may be computed for a single operation, a department, a facility, an organization, or even an entire country. Productivity is an objective concept. As an objective concept, it can be measured ideally against a universal standard. As such, organizations can monitor productivity for strategic reasons such as corporate planning, organization improvement, or comparison to competitors. It can also be used for tactical reasons such as project control or controlling performance to budget. Productivity is also a scientific concept and hence can be logically defined and empirically observed. It can also be measured in quantitative terms, which qualifies it as a variable. Therefore, it can be defined and measured in absolute or relative terms. However, an absolute definition of productivity is not very useful. It is much more useful as a concept dealing with relative productivity or as a productivity factor. Productivity is useful as a relative measure of actual output of production compared to the actual input of resources measured across time or against common entities. As output increases for a level of input or as the amount of input decreases for a constant level of output, an increase in productivity occurs. Therefore, a productivity measure describes how well the resources of an organization are being used to produce input. Productivity is often confused with efficiency. Efficiency is generally seen as the ratio of the time needed to perform a task to some predetermined standard time. My dear friends, just to interrupt you all, here I would like to emphasize on some special important aspect of Knowledge Galaxy. Here, specialized subject-wise coaching classes and topic-wise doubts clearing are available. I am available for all of you to clear all your doubts, and especially for Diploma Engineering, Metallurgy and Mechanical students, Indian Institute of Metals, that is IIM, Part 1 and Part 2, and competitive and recruitment exams for GATE, SAIL and various other government and private sector companies, metallurgical industries, working and aspiring professionals. Here I would like to emphasize that whatever queries and doubts you are having in your mind regarding any subject or topic of metallurgy or any other ferroalloys production, operation, maintenance, so you can contact me for getting your doubts cleared. I will try to provide you accurate knowledge and to the best possible extent at the very shortest period of time, so that you can gain your knowledge, clear all your doubts,
so that you can grow in your career, whether it is academic career, whether it is professional career, and so that you can develop and grow. So to continue with, here complete syllabus coverage for the students aspiring to appear in the forthcoming semester exams, that is December or June, I will be providing you all. So please contact me on knowledgegalaxy26@gmail.com or WhatsApp me on +919907144101 for scheduling and organizing the classes or getting informations to clear your doubts via video conferencing, call or WhatsApp. My dear friends, you might have encountered that you might have been having many of the doubts regarding process, technology, why they are doing, why it is done, how it is done. So, and if you don't find any answer to them and nobody is there to guide you properly, so my dear friends, I am here available to guide you all, to make you know and grow, and so that you don't have any doubts related to your process, products, technology, syllabus, and I will make sure that all of your doubts get clarified and you know the topic and subject very well and completely. So again, let's move on.
Okay, now coming back on track again. However, doing unnecessary work efficiently is not exactly being productive. It would be more correct to interpret productivity as a measure of effectiveness, that is, doing the right thing efficiently, which is outcome oriented rather than output oriented. My dear friends, I hope this definition and distinction of efficiency and productivity is clear to you all, and also I hope that you don't have any doubt related to outcome oriented or output oriented. I believe that you understand what is outcome and what is output. So I am just moving forward. Productivity is usually expressed in one of three forms. First, partial factor productivity, second, multi-factor productivity, and third, total productivity. Each one is now discussed, so I will be describing in all of these three factor productivities in detail in coming slides. So let us first discuss about partial factor productivity. The standard definition of productivity is actually what is known as a partial factor measure of productivity, in the sense that it only considers a single input in the ratio. The formula then for partial factor productivity would be the ratio of total output to a single input. Managers generally utilize partial productivity measures because the data is readily available. Also, since the total of multi-factor measures provides an aggregate perspective, partial factor productivity measures are easier to relate to specific processes. Labor-based hours, generally readily available information, is a frequently used input variable in the equation. When this is the case, it would seem that productivity could be increased by substituting machinery for labor. However, that may not necessarily be a wise decision always. Let me explain why. Labor-based measures do not include mechanization and automation in the input. Thus, when automation replaces labor, misinterpretation may occur. Other partial factor measure options could appear as output per labor, output per machine, output per capital, or output per energy. These are the different
measure options for partial factor productivity measures, as you might have heard about them in regular life. Terms applied to some other partial factor measures include capital productivity, that is using machine hours or capital invested, energy productivity, that is using kilowatt hours, and third is materials productivity, that is using inventory capital. Now let us discuss about multi-factor productivity. A multi-factor productivity measure utilizes more than a single factor, for example, both labor and capital. Hence, multi-factor productivity is the ratio of total output to a subset of inputs. A subset of inputs might consist of only labor and materials, or it could include capital. Obviously, the different factors must be measured in the same units, for example, dollars or standard hours. Now let us discuss about total factor productivity. A broader gauge of productivity, total factor productivity, is measured by combining the effects of all the resources used in the production of goods and services, that is labor, capital, raw material, energy, etc., and dividing it into the output. One example is a ratio computed by adding standard hours of labor actually produced plus the standard machine hours actually produced in a given time period divided by the actual hours available for both labor and machines in the time period. I hope this example is clear to you all. Total output must be expressed in the same unit of measure and total input must be expressed in the same unit of measure. My dear friends, this sentence describes the common proverb that you cannot compare an apple to an orange, and that is, you must compare same material with the same material only. Then only a proper and fair comparison could be done. So let us move forward. However, total output and total input need not be expressed in the same unit of measure. Resources are often converted to money or standard hours so that a single figure can be used as an aggregate measure of total input or output. For example, total output could be expressed as the number of units produced, and total input could be expressed in currency such as tons of steel produced per rupee input. Other varieties of the measure may appear as dollar value of goods or service produced per dollar of input, or standard hours of output per actual hours of input. My dear friends, here I am taking consideration as dollar. You can consider any other currency in the world. This is for example only to describe the concept in a better way. Total productivity ratios reflect simultaneous changes in outputs and inputs. As such, total productivity ratios provide the most inclusive type of index for measuring productivity and may be preferred in making comparisons of productivity. However, they do not show the interaction between each input and output separately and are thus too broad to be used as a tool for improving specific areas. Total factor productivity is a measure favored by the Japanese, whereas labor productivity is the measure favored by the United States. Now let us discuss about productivity measures. It has been said that the challenge of productivity has become a challenge of measurement. Productivity is difficult to measure and can only be measured indirectly, that is, by measuring other variables and then calculating productivity from them. This difficulty in measurement stems from the fact that inputs and outputs are not only difficult to define but are also difficult to quantify. Any productivity measurement system should produce some sort of overall index of productivity. A smart measurement program combines productivity measurements into an overall rating of performance. This type of system should be flexible in order to accommodate changes in goals and policies over the time. It should also have the ability to aggregate the measurement systems of different units into a single system and be able to compare productivity across different units. The ways in which input and output are measured can provide different productivity measures. Disadvantages of productivity measures have been the distortion of the measure by fixed expenses and also the inability of productivity measures to consider quality changes. That is, output per hour might increase but it may cause the defect rate to skyrocket. It is easier to conceive of outputs as tangible units such as number of items produced, but other factors such as quality should be considered. Experts have cited a need for a measurement program that gives an equal weight to quality as well as productivity. If quality is included in the ratio, output may have to be defined as something like the number of defect-free units of production or the number of units which meet customer expectations or requirements. The determination of when productivity measures are appropriate performance measures depends on two criteria. The first is the independence of the transformation process from other processes within the organization, and the second is the correspondence between the inputs and outputs in the productivity measurement process. Now let us discuss about uses of productivity measures. I hope I am going well and you are getting the proper information and don't have any doubt till now. So let us move on, and if you have any doubt or need some more clarity, you can contact me over my WhatsApp number or my email. So moving on. Productivity is a required tool in evaluating and monitoring the performance of an organization, especially a business organization. When directed at specific issues and problems, productivity measures can be very powerful. In essence, productivity measures are the yardsticks of effective resource usage. Managers are concerned with productivity as it relates to making improvements in their firm. Proper use of productivity measures can give the manager an indication of how to improve productivity, either increase the numerator of the measure or decrease the denominator or both. Managers are also concerned with how productivity measures relate to competitiveness. If two firms have the same level of output but one requires less input, then thanks to a higher level of productivity, that firm will be able to charge a lower price and increase its market share, or charge the same price as the competitor and enjoy a larger profit margin. My dear friends, I hope this line describes the importance of productivity. Within a time period, productivity measures can be used to compare the firm's performance against industry-wide data, compare its performance with similar firms and competitors, and compare performance among different departments within the firm, or compare the performance of the firm or individual departments within the firm with the measures obtained at an earlier time, that is performance improving or decreasing over the time. Productivity measures can also be used to evaluate the performance of an entire industry or the productivity of a country as a whole. These are aggregate measures determined by combining productivity measures of various companies, industries, or segments of the economy. So now we are coming to productivity index. So let us discuss and what is productivity index and how it is measured, what is its importance. Since productivity is a relative measure, for it to be meaningful or useful, it must be compared to something. My dear friends, it is very clear. I am again repeating this. Since productivity is a relative measure, for it to be meaningful or useful, it must be compared to something. For example, businesses can compare their productivity values to that of similar firms, other departments within the same firm, or against past productivity data for the same firm or department, or even one machine. My dear friends, this is the importance of productivity, as if you don't have any competition to compare, then you cannot improve. So you need to compare things, services, anything, so that you can get to know which one is better and which one is not so good. I hope my example is clear to you all. Let's move forward. This allows firms to measure productivity improvement over time, or measure the impact of certain decisions such as the introduction of new processes, equipment, and worker motivation techniques. In order to have a value for comparison purposes, organizations compute their productivity index. A productivity index is the ratio of productivity measured in some time period to the productivity measured in a base period. I repeat it once again. A productivity index is the ratio of productivity measured in some time period to the productivity measured in a base period. For example, if the base period's productivity is calculated to be 1.75 and the following period's productivity is calculated to be 1.93, the resulting productivity index would be 1.93 divided by 1.75 is equal to 1.10. This would indicate that the firm's productivity had increased 10% from the productivity of the base period. On the other hand, if the following period's productivity measurement fell to 1.66, the productivity index of 1.66 divided by 1.75 is equal to 0.95. It would indicate that the organization's productivity has fallen to 95% of the productivity of the base period. I hope these two figures are very much clear to you all. By tracking productivity indexes over time, managers can evaluate the success or lack thereof of projects and decisions. My dear friends, we are going so far so good. So now let us discuss factors affecting productivity. What are the factors which affect the productivity and how it is important, how it is controlled or uncontrolled. Let us discuss. There is quite a variety of factors which can affect productivity both positively and negatively. These include: first, capital investments in production; second, capital investments in technology; third, capital investments in equipment; fourth, capital investments in facilities; fifth, economies of scale; sixth one is workforce knowledge and skill resulting from training and experience; seventh, technological changes; eighth is work methods; ninth is procedures; 10th is systems; next one is quality of products; 12th one is quality of processes; 13th, quality of management; 14th, legislative and regulatory environment; 15th is general levels of education; 16th is social environment; and last but not the least, 17th is geographic factors. So there are total of 17 factors which can affect the productivity either positively or negatively. So here the first 12 factors are highly controllable at the company or project level. Number 13 and 14 are marginally controllable at best. Next comes is number 15 and 16 are controllable only at the national level, and number 17 is uncontrollable. So my dear friends, the factors are divided in three categories. Either they are controllable at company level or project level, second they are marginally controllable, or next is they are controllable only at the national level, and finally either they are not at all controllable. So I hope my description is clear to you all. Let's move forward. So we have discussed so much about productivity, its index, its measures, its usage. So how to improve productivity? Because this question might have arisen several times in your mind, and you might have heard this, that improve productivity, improve productivity. So in these coming slides I will be discussing about how to improve the productivity. What are the different steps or measures that will improve the productivity of any firm, any organization, any institute, or overall any country. So let us discuss. Productivity improvements can be achieved in a number of ways. If the level of output is increased faster than that of input, productivity will increase. Next, conversely, productivity will be increased if the level of input is decreased faster than that of output. Also, an organization may realize a productivity increase from producing more output with the same level of input. Finally, producing more output with a reduced level of input will result in increased productivity. Any of these scenarios may be realized through improved methods, investment in machinery and technology, improved quality and improvement techniques and philosophies such as just-in-time, total quality management, lean production, supply chain management principles and theory of constraints. So, my dear friends, you can see that the goal is same, but there can be many ways to achieve that goal. A firm or department may undertake a number of key steps towards improving the productivity. William J. Stevenson in 1999 lists these steps to productivity improvement. Develop productivity measures for all operations. Measurement is the first step in managing and controlling an organization. So, the very first step towards productivity improvement is to develop productivity measures for all operations, because when you cannot measure anything, you cannot improve it, or you cannot even compare it to anything. So, the first and very basic step is to start measuring anything. Look at the system as a whole in deciding which operations are most critical. It is overall productivity that is important. My dear friends, the managers should always look the whole system in a completeness, because only taking some small steps and taking some small operations may not result in overall productivity, because the overall productivity is the most important thing. So we have to decide and we have to focus ourselves on the most critical operations. Develop methods for achieving productivity improvement, such as soliciting ideas from workers, perhaps organizing teams of workers, engineers and managers, studying how other firms have increased productivity and re-examining the way of work is done. Here, my dear friends, I would like to emphasize that training is costly, but not to train is still costlier. So here the importance of training and development is very much clear, and it also increases the productivity of the organization. Next is establish reasonable goals for improvement. Make it clear that management supports and encourages productivity improvement. My dear friends, it is very necessary that the management has to support the productivity improvement activities. It should encourage each and every activity which is increasing the productivity. Consider incentives to reward workers for contributions. My dear friends, incentives for the workers is a very good technique for their contribution. It also recognizes them, they feel very much proud for that and also get motivated for these incentives. So a good manager always tries to reward their workers by giving some incentives of any sort. Next comes measure improvements and publicize them. So whatever improvements have been done, they must be measured and they must be publicized so that each and every person can know that this is the improvement done. This will also motivate other members to further improve their processes and activities. Don't confuse productivity with efficiency. Here again the two terms are productivity and efficiency, but they are not same. Normally people get confused, so let me clarify the difference between productivity and efficiency. Efficiency is a narrower concept that pertains to getting the most out of a given set of resources, but productivity is a broader concept that pertains to use of overall resources. For example, an efficiency perspective on mowing the lawn given a hand mower would focus on the best way to use the hand mower, whereas a productivity perspective would include the possibility of using a power mower. As a cautionary word, organizations must be careful not to focus solely on productivity as the driver for the organization. Organizations must consider overall competitive ability. Firm success is categorized by quality, cycle time, reasonable lead time, innovation, and a host of other factors directed at improving customer service and satisfaction. So, my dear friends, now we will be discussing about productivity at the national level. Since productivity is one of the basic variables governing economic production activity, some mention of national productivity concerns would be appropriate. As a matter of fact, productivity may be the most important variable governing economic production activity. It is not the it is the fundamental controllable factor in wealth production. I repeat, it is the fundamental controllable factor in wealth production. Since other economic variables depend on it, increasing productivity tends to have a beneficial multiplying effect on other economic variables. This is generally true at every level of economic aggregation. Improving productivity is of national importance because for a society to increase its standards of living, it must first increase productivity. Overall productivity for individual countries is calculated by dividing output as measured by GDP, that is gross domestic product, or GNP, that is gross national product, by the country's total population. Thus, productivity is measured as the rupee value per capita outputs for our country India. An increase in this measure of productivity means that each person in the country on an average produced more goods and services. Also, if productivity increases, then profits increase. The resulting profits can then be used to pay for wage increases that is inherent in inflation without having to raise the prices. In this way, productivity gains actually help curb inflation. In this way, productivity gains actually help in curbing the inflation. Extensive press attention has focused on the factory of the future, where factory workers are being replaced in order to improve flexibility and productivity. Apparently, the role and importance of productivity will not diminish anytime soon. My dear friends, I have discussed and described in detail about the productivity, various factors, index, various measures, and I hope this is very much useful to you all and it is very much clear to you all. In case you are having any doubt regarding any topic in this presentation or regarding any other topic related to your industry, then you can contact me for your doubt clearing or for getting any other information.
Dear friends, I am providing you all the informations free of cost which are available in my YouTube channel. So do help me by watching all my videos. Do subscribe my channel. Regularly visit and repeatedly visit my channel. Do watch all my videos, contents, like the content, share with your friends, and so that I also get motivated from each one of you as you subscribe to my channel. I am very much thankful to all my subscribers who believe in me, have subscribed my channel, and like my content. So to motivate me further, please do subscribe my channel, increase the subscriber count, share with your friends so that others can also gain the knowledge. And my dear friends, all if you subscribe my channel, this will motivate me to do further better. So I hope you like the content and found the video worth. So again request you to please don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Also remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the notification of the new videos promptly. My dear friends, here if you want to advertise about your product, services or company or anything else for gaining popularity in my channel, so you can contact me so that I can put your content for advertisement in my videos, forthcoming videos. So it will be a good platform to advertise. So do contact me as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end, and I am very much again thankful to all of you who helped me, who believe in me, and please do visit my channel regularly and repeatedly. Thank you very much again. See you in the next video. Thank you.